and welcome to the SmackDown review. I'm Adam Wilbourn from WhatCulture. I'm from WhatCulture here to review everything that happened on Friday Night SmackDown. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube, where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review Friday Night SmackDown, but also the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. Oh, AW Dynamite, AW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week complete with a bloody good quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As I said, though, joined by Michael Hamflett to review this week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. And what a trouser-splitting episode this was.
This was a pretty good SmackDown.
It was, wasn't it?
With one glaring exception, which we'll get to.
Which will probably make the most entertaining.
I would imagine so. Yeah, good show. Who knew?
Cody's back.
Yeah, maybe.
Everything's fixed.
Maybe there's something to that, yeah. Well, yeah, we'll get onto that as well, I suppose, because we called it. It's the last detail.
Indeed.
We got every bit of that correct, didn't we?
I forgot about that until I saw the picture for our video podcast.
Yes. We were considering...
Which we did on Friday, of course.
With the Friday's episode. We were considering, I say we because Nicholas is involved in the production of this, like doing like a Photoshop, but we just decided to use a legitimate image instead. Yeah. And it played out as was. If you haven't seen SmackDown, we'll explain to you what happened, and you've got no reason to go and check the footage yourself. We will tell you exactly what went down. As we will in a segment that was a disaster. But that disastrous segment notwithstanding, good SmackDown.
Yeah. For the person it happened to in that segment, I don't care for them. So I don't care.
There was a certain schadenfreude about the way that played out. Yeah.
But the show was off to a great start when I saw who was commentating on this show.
Yeah.
What an upgrade.
I can't lie. Them two, well, I heard Vic first, and then them two appeared, and I thought of you. So take that as the compliment that it's intended.
Thank you.
And I thought, well, already we're off to a flyer here. I thought they had quite a good night.
Yeah.
All things considered. There's something to, and I can't believe I'm going to say
Still bickering.
Oh, they hate each other. But that's become part of the charm. Yeah, I can't believe I'm going to say this. There is really something to their partnership.
There is something there, isn't there?
Yeah, and maybe Vic Joseph deserves a bit more credit than he gets, because they used to be, that was the same with him and Wade Barrett way back when. They were quite a good team. And then you get...
Friendlier.
Then you get... There's no other way to put it. Then you get saddled with Booker T every week for X number of years. And I don't know, he's kind of found a way to make... I notice it more when you lift them out of the context we know them in. Because on NXT... I'm not saying you block out the rowing and the bickering, but it's just so commonplace. Like, yep, that's the commentary. And it almost suits the total insanity and the bollocks. But then, I'm not saying like SmackDown at the moment is exactly the high art version of WWE, but it is the main roster. You lift it to the main roster and you think, oh God, right, here come the circus clowns. And it's sort of all right.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a negative against the booking or a positive to the commentators.
It did go straight from this to a man splitting his trousers.
It did. Yeah. Blue Pants himself.
We see all the arrivals. Big matches on the show. Orton, Drew, the women's title match, of course. And then we got a recap of what happened with John Cena, Sami Zayn, and of course Brock Lesnar the previous week. And then out comes Brock Lesnar, cowboy hat, and all the usual shenanigans with a, mixed reaction, I think it's fair to say. Some cheers, and then when they stopped, quite a lot of "you suck" chants.
Sorry, gave Booker T a bit of a nod as he walked past the commentary desk. He's probably not seen him since a birthday party.
Yeah, so. It's been a while. But before he can even say anything, he's interrupted by R-Truth, who raps his way down to the ring and then says, well, what does he say, actually, Michael Hamflett?
Norfolk, Virginia.
That doesn't count as a swear, does it?
No, I'm just naming a place in the way that they would like it to be pronounced. Good. If we said Norfolk, we would be disrespecting the people.
It'd be like a jury scene, there's nobody's there, there's Norfolk.
Yeah, I thought you were going to require a bleep there.
No?
Norfolk, Virginia, make some noise. What's up? What's up? I'll tell you what's up.
Man, shut up. For the performance of this,
Let's do this again.
performance, Brock
I
Lesnar.
completely missed this because I had no idea where the camera was going. I was having to guess.
I'll
From the top.
Norfolk, Virginia. Make some noise. What's up? I'll tell you what's up.
Man, shut up.
You know what? I'm going to go a different route. I'll be the first WWE superstar in this WWE ring in front of this WWE universe. This was so weird. Live on TV to say, Brock, welcome back. Now, with that being said, I used to be scared of you, Brock. I ain't scared of you no more.
Man, I don't even know who you are. And you better have a damn good reason for coming up here and interrupting me.
Well, good news, Brock. You've been disrespecting John Cena, my childhood hero, my older brother. Ripple of laughter. For the past 25 years.
How old are you? And hey, big man, what's your name?
My name's R-Truth. I'm done with the disrespect, Brock.
Time out. I'm here for one thing tonight. I'm looking for John Cena. Do you know where John Cena is tonight?
No, I don't.
How is there still a...
God, there's so much to do and they've done all the words.
Then why are you in my ring right now?
Well, you see, Brock, let me just wind it right back. I'll do the same lines again. Because I'm here to defend... I'm here to defend my older brother, my childhood hero, John Cena.
So John Cena's your brother?
My older brother.
And your name is R-Truth?
My name is Ron Cena. Where's everybody gone?
So you don't know where John is?
No, I don't.
And so why are you here right now?
Couldn't have made it clearer, Brock.
Guys, go on. Let's wrap it up.
Couldn't have made it clearer, Brock. I'm here to stop the disrespect. Brock, you see, John Cena is built different now, dog. He went crazy this year. You didn't see him, Brock. He made a little kid cry. So I'm telling you now, Super Cena is coming for you, dog, and he's fueled with horse hustle loyalty. This is what he said. He's fueled with horse hustle loyalty, respect, and 2 drops of that kid's tears. You're not even watching Truth, he apologised. So he won't be running from the beast, he'll be feeding on him.
Ooh. Right, well, clearly he's built up this now.
Yeah, we're ready for the crescendo.
And you're his brother?
I'm his younger brother.
From another mother?
No, we got the same daddies.
Yeah, what?
Where's this gone?
And you're R-Truth, Ron Cena?
Yes.
Okay. We finally got it back on track. Page and a half later. Did you know that you're missing a tooth?
I'm missing a tooth.
Brock picks up R-Truth, hits him with the F5 and splits his trousers.
What friggin' WWE should have done with that first draft.
This didn't go to plan.
What on earth was this? Right. Well, I know what on earth this was. This was an example of what happens when you have a short scripted scene play out in an era where performers are given a little bit more leeway to colour outside of the lines, as long as you keep the messaging on track. And in Brock Lesnar, you have somebody that's always been quite a bad talker.
Chaotic individual, yes.
Somebody that tends not to like really think too much about the rules he's supposed to follow when he's out there anyway.
Sometimes it works. Party's over grandpa.
Yeah. Say something stupid, Paul. But like a lot of that is done in the context of being the guy that almost isn't expected to deliver the one line.
Yes.
You know, like the days of the Brock party and whatnot. Like the idea is it's like, what are you doing there, mate? Paul Heyman does your talking. You know, like whoever he's got.
Or if something really riles him, he's like, no, I'm going to say something right now.
Yeah. Not like welcome everyone to Friday Night SmackDown. That's never really been his forte.
And you're his brother.
He's an older brother.
You know, like, I get it. Sometimes, you know, like especially in NXT when they're, you know, relatively green, it's like, here's the points we want you to hit. They might not remember the words exactly. They know the sentences they want to say, but they've got to get across, you know, what the match is, when the pay-per-view is or whatever, and why they've been put in this situation. All this was, who are you?
Yep.
How are you related to John Cena? And why are you interrupting me if you don't know where he is?
Everything was set up for R-Truth.
Everything was finished there.
Yeah. It was set up for R-Truth.
Age later.
To do about 3 gags.
Yeah.
And then Brock to sort of say, well, you're not home after F5. Get out of there. But because Brock seemingly forgot his place and jumped ahead, R-Truth had to jump ahead and try and deliver all the gags at once because he's like, you've trampled all over everything. I'm just going to have to get the jokes out now, otherwise we're Dunsky. So R-Truth gets the jokes out, gets a bit of a laugh, gets a bit of like, there's a ripple of a pop for a couple of them. His delivery's funny as usual. But then they've done everything. And then Brock's like, wind it back a second. Yeah. I've remembered my bits now. And R-Truth's, we can't wind it. I've explained why the chicken crossed the road. Like, we're done. Like, they know why the English, Irishman, Scottishman going to the pub. I got nothing left. But you just got to repeat it again. And then Brock's like...
So they walk into a pub, right?
Yeah, I've done it. Just excruciating.
Yeah.
Excruciating stuff. Couldn't happen to a bigger arsehole in Brock. The big thicko.
The idea of them blocking this out. So you interrupt him. You say you're here for John Cena. You say your name's Ron Cena and he's your brother. You say, where is he? He's not here because, as Hamflett has mentioned on numerous occasions, he explicitly said that SmackDown was his last SmackDown in Chicago.
Well, you wasted your time. And
so why are you here?
Idiot.
And then they say that, saying, bang, bang, bang. He's not here. He's not here. Right, well, I'll have to deal with you then. And then, obviously, you split your...
And then he splits his trousers, like...
Shows his ass.
And he laughs it off, and he's like, I split my pants! I got blue undies! So then he's like pissing himself. He high-fives some fans, so there goes the heel turn.
It's a mess.
It was, yeah.
But it was good. It was a good mess.
Messy chaos. Really poorly performed. And like... We've kind of danced around the subject for long enough, but me and Sid did a podcast, which you can check out on video or on audio, where we do talk about a number of reasons why wrestling TV at large, it's, AEW and WWE, all the companies, how the TV's sort of fallen off a bit this year. And I think it's high time this segment to me was a perfect example of why it's time to just start pussyfooting around and start naming the names. So, like...
Not NXT.
I'll put his name out on Front Street. Road Dogg. Sorted out, yeah. Like, he wants to be bloody grateful. Triple H was busy doing a WrestleMania announcement and he apparently couldn't be asked to turn up at Raw. What's going on? Like, what? Just didn't bother.
He was on...
Just revealed it on Pat McAfee that he was like, yeah, I want there.
He was
Was it good?
What was it? Tony Hinchcliffe's thing.
Great. Is the only reason he does that is because the actual show is called Kill Tony. And then he hopes that'll turn up in people's Google searches. Like, come on. Come on, lads. Yeah, I'm sticking up for you in that staff room. It's quite a good show after this.
You know what I would have appreciated more? Because after this, we cut backstage and Sami Zayn's talking to someone. He should have done the Titus O'Neil. What the hell was that?
Scratching in there.
Anyway, as I was saying, he talks to this person about how they've had parallel careers, traveled all over the world, but their paths have never crossed. But he's very grateful to carry on the tradition of the US Open Challenge, and he's going to give, or they're going to give Norfolk a hell of a match. And he's talking to Rey Fénix, who's very appreciative of this opportunity. Nice surprise, this.
Yes, I'm glad. I don't know what the nicest bit of the surprise was, that the reveal of Rey Fénix or the fact that they are actually going to follow through on Sami Zayn's thing that wasn't just a bit for John Cena.
I like that.
We talked about in the preview, which we recorded on the Friday, how, and this was before anything was announced, that even if they've only stumbled into it to do the Cena thing, it suits the Sami Zayn character
Absolutely.
perfectly. I have some thoughts that I'll save to the end of this match, a match I kind of can't wait to praise, but just something new to sing that I want to pick up on, but we'll do the match first because it was a hell of a piece of business.
Before we get to that, though, we get a vignette from Solo Sikoa, who's sat in his shadowy MFT room. Do you know what I had to sacrifice to get that championship in my hands, Sammy? I sacrificed love, loyalty, my own flesh and blood. And we see flashbacks of everything that's happened with Solo. Just to prove what? To have it taken out of my hands, I've lost the bloodline. Shots of the bloodline. I've lost the Ulafala. Shots of the Ulafala. I've lost my US championship. Change is going to happen. And it's going to happen sooner rather than later because I'm going to lead this family. I'm going to take back what I lost. I've been living in the shadows of others for far too long. It's time for others to live in the shadow of me and my family tree.
Decent economical use of Solo Sikoa on this one. I thought it was all right there.
And then we got the US title open challenge, Sami Zayn versus Rey Fénix. Fast start, Zayn hitting some arm drags, Fénix with some more acrobatic arm drags, let's say. Attempts or teases a dive to the outside, pulls out at the last second because Sami Zayn moves, and we go to a break. When we come back, Zayn hits a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Fénix sends him outside, though, and hits that big running corkscrew dive of his. There's a high crossbody back inside for 2. Sami goes to the Blue Thunder Bomb quite a few times in this match, actually. This time he gets countered into a Hurricane Rana and a super kick for 2 for Fénix. Fénix goes for a moonsault, but Zayn moves. He misses the haluva kick. There's a nice rolling DDT from Rey Fénix for a great 2 count. Great near fall in there. Another break. This time when we come back, Fénix is going up top, but Zayn cuts him off, puts him on his shoulders. Don't know if he's going for like an AA or something after what happened, obviously, with Cena. Instead, Fénix gets out of that and hits an awesome-looking double stomp from the top to Zayn. Hits his signature moonsault, but Zayn just kicks out at the last second. They both try and hit a suplex. Zayn finally catches him with a Blue Thunder Bomb. Again, a move that very rarely wins matches, but everyone in Virginia was buying this as the finish. But a real good late kick out from Rey Fénix here. Zayn catches him after this with an explosive suplex in the corner, goes for the haluva kick, but Fénix recovers. Hurricane Rana gets a near fall. He hits that amazing move where I've never seen this before, runs along the top rope and kicks him in the head, tries for a spin kick in the corner, but Zayn catches him out of nowhere, explosive suplex, haluva kick, 1, 2, 3.
Whoa, loads of praise for this. Sami Zayn has had 3 of my favourite TV matches of the year, and they've all been really distinct for what they like, the individual stories they told using the traits of Sami Zayn in particular. So the CM Punk Raw match,
Oh my God.
was this really lovely attritional, we're both really experienced, who's the better man. Neither of us are considered like technical greats, but we both love the art of technical wrestling. So it was like a real, like evenly for travel down the same roads type thing. And you knew there was like this little air of tension that like constantly threatened to just explode between them, and it didn't.
Can cheat.
Yeah. The John Cena match, I will continue to resent WWE for going forward.
Good booking for Brock then. Good heat.
Yeah.
It'd be even funny if he'd split his trousers there, actually. He's ruined the match and he split his trousers.
Pisses himself as he leaves, yeah. What's that R-Truth guy called? Oh, I've already named him. It's like me with a SmackDown GM. The sort of the I guess like the big finisher stuff from John Cena almost undercut how good Sami Zayn was at kind of trying to stay underdog babyface in a match where like the onus was on Cena to beat him, and I thought that was super impressive. This one, giving Fénix all the space to have like his best match in WWE thus far, like is a proper like down to earth Rey Fénix singles match, the type of stuff that you want him to get more of in AEW and thus wanted him to get signed for in WWE.
Yes.
Like I always go back to the Kenny one in Daly's Place, but Fénix had a couple of moments like that where you just thought, well, there he is. Like if like WWE, the cliche, they're desperate for the next Rey Mysterio. He's maybe the best candidate to ever come along yet.
Yes.
And then he's not really been given the platform. I would say he's had a couple of big singles matches, but they've never felt like the most important thing on the show. And I would even include his debut week in that. It came at the wrong time. It was like, it was on the road to a WrestleMania where other stuff was more important. And then when he did make it onto WrestleMania, it was like, well, you'll do, I suppose. And then he lost. And it was just like, well, this couldn't have gone worse. So this has knocked all of that into a cocked hat now. I don't necessarily think it'll be the start of a push for Fénix, but much like the John Cena US Open Challenge wasn't necessarily the start of the push for a lot of people that lost it, they get that one night where you do the absolute best with the time you've got, and you kind of have to credit the champion for pulling up kind of his end of that as well. So I have I guess it's like an observation that's not necessarily a problem, but it could become one unless they're trying to make it one. We highlighted that Sami Zayn got a not insignificant number of boos against John Cena in Chicago. And some of that might have been because the level of sentiment towards Cena was so high that night. And you can kind of wave that away. And then ultimately Brock comes down and ruins the whole thing. So both of them are preserved as babyface. It's not even like Sami's won, got a few boos, got more people on Twitter calling him Sammy Hogan, whatever. That feels like it's starting to permeate into this act of it. He got a few boos in the backstage segment when he was revealed before they panned to reveal Rey Fénix. And then he got more in the match when he was, to be absolutely fair to Sami Zayn, playing like shot stopper, I guess. Just when you think, here we go, Rey Fénix is going to get it done. Sammy's too experienced. He's always there for the kick out. He's always there for the counter. He's done a brilliant job of teasing, attempting the Blue Thunder Bomb and the Haluva kick. But this time out, every time he teased it, there were like a ripple of boos are louder than cheers, but there was a ripple of boos rather than just the usual, yeah, get him, Sami. And then when he would miss, the fans would cheer because they'd see that Fénix has escaped or whatever. I know it's Carmelo Hayes next week, as we learn a bit later on. Unless this is part of a weird plan, I think they need to play it safe and line him up some heels.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I don't know what's going on there. I don't know, like there's been no sense in the booking that's encouraged anyone to boo Sami Zayn. And ultimately, sometimes the fans just decide. But I'd be massively surprised if Sami Zayn suddenly became like this odd figure of hate. And it'd be nightmare timing for WWE because it actually does feel like he's lined up to win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
So I don't
think you have any trouble there, to be honest.
I don't think so.
But in the aftermath, I agree.
2 weeks of boos is for Sami Zayn in particular, playing a fighting champion and having
he hasn't
Sami
really
Zayn
done
matches.
anything.
No. He beat Solo Sikoa.
And he beat Karrion Kross, but again...
Like, is there something to this Solo Sikoa thing where enough people loudly, the bloodline... Remember the old crazy bloodline stands, the Roman Avatar lot?
Mm-hmm.
I imagine you were maybe their leader, I don't know. Like... Have they migrated to Solo or something? It's like, right, get him. And there's some of them in the building now or something. Yeah. I don't know. It was noticeable to me because there's probably not many more heart and sleeve baby faces quite like Sami Zayn. And the boos are creeping in. So you just feed him heels for the next 5-6 challenges, I would say.
Following this, we see B-Fab in the back, and she runs into the Women's United States champion, Giulia, and the wonderful Kiana James. And they're talking about how much they made an example out of Michin last week. I think B-Fab was trying to call her, but couldn't get through. And she says, look, whilst you're busy jumping Michin from behind, I'm busy dealing with the Street Profits drama. More on that in a bit. But she's not busy right now. Kiana's like, how do you have the audacity to speak to my client like this? But Julie says, that's okay. You can get it tonight, basically. And that sets up a match. Before we get there, though, there was a Wyatt Sicks vignette. Where do the Street Profits go from here, they say? They put them to the test at Clash in Paris, and they didn't get the job done. Eric Rowan takes over and says, I can see cracks in your brotherhood, and I hate to see it. Sometimes you don't know what you got to this gown. You have a choice to make. Don't let the disease consume you. Amputate a limb and heal. And Bo Dallas said the Six aren't the only ones. Aren't the ones who sowed the seeds that sprouted horns. Follow the buzzards. What?
It's a load of shit, lads. It's what it is. I said this when we covered Clash in Paris. They can talk all this bollocks all they want. There were 5 of them. Jesus. It was just numbers.
Yeah.
There's no like, oh no, Montez Ford's in his own head about doing a dive. There's bloody loads of them out there. They had one disagreement and it was about who was going to start the match. And then they evidently made up for the duration of the rest of it and just lost because of
Good match.
Yeah, actually, I would say a bit of an over-delivery. It was stable.
Wasn't it Nikki grabbing that leg as they tried to climb in and then they got hit with Sister Abigail on the outside?
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Not really disease consuming there, more.
No, I can't imagine like...
What if the evil creepy doll girl grabs your leg?
Like Farouk sending the Nation of Domination out there to get him, and it's like, that's it, infect him with the sickness, and then just make it a 4-on-1. Just like they couldn't be asked to do that bit, and I sensed that it was going to be the catalyst for this Street Profits breakup, and I just sort of felt sad.
Yeah,
because I was like, they've really screwed you over in the booking there, and yeah, it does feel like that's where we're going, doesn't it? Unless it's a bait and switch, not a bait and switch. I don't mean that. Unless it's all a ruse. And they want you to think the Street Profits are Dunsky, but in fact, them being together is what wins them the titles, and the split comes at the end of that run. But they've had the belts. They passed those belts around like it was nothing. Like the valueless tag titles on SmackDown, like they've had their go with them. So if you were going to do that run, it should have been this like, oh, they've got all these years and they haven't been able. They won them last them. Like it was nothing.
Yeah. The poison is you're just kind of sick of each other now.
Yeah.
Want to do your own thing.
Poison is you may wrestle on main event instead of SmackDown.
You should no longer do this Sui celebration from Cristiano Ronaldo.
and cut off a limb to heal it. Is that how that works? Hand off. Ooh, a 6th finger.
I got better.
Yeah, grew back.
Doctor Who can when he was like, I remember he lost a hand when he was regenerating into what's his name?
Billy Piper.
No. I don't know. I can't remember what his name is.
I have never watched Doctor Who ever.
Really?
But I think I think it's a good reason. I've said this before. There is 1985 was the best year, but with it inadvertently facilitated a generation of people who might have been, who missed Doctor Who because there was no 90s iteration of it.
Mm-hmm.
There was one for comic relief. And I remember this specifically because you could get like a smell-o-vision card from the newsagents.
I remember that one.
Smell along with this special Doctor Who that was made. I want to say like 95 maybe, but otherwise no main series of Doctor Who. Like it'd been a 70s and 80s BBC institution, went away for a bit, came back in the 2000s.
Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah, still around today. Like it's like as long a continued run now.
Great theme.
Yeah. And Who Culture, by the way, a fantastic channel where you can like get all the Doctor Who information from people that actually know what they're talking about rather than these two clowns. However, that and Harry Potter both sort of like never quite made it into my sphere of influence or around any of my friends because it was just like, well, it was like no Doctor Who when we're just the right Saturday night age for it. Too busy watching Noel's House Party. Speaking of Noel's House Party,
Go on.
we have signed a player whose surname is Brobby.
Brilliant.
So if he comes good, and based on his performance against Crystal Palace, I'm not sure.
Good point.
Brobby,
Oh,
Mr.
Mr.
Brobby.
Brobby.
I'm sure it's going to send the terraces wild. It was Christmas and 1. Yeah, it was a great point against Palace, but Brobby was not so good out.
Speaking of smell-o-vision, I wish I had it for this. Did you see what Rogue Mel sent me over the weekend?
Can't remember.
From the English Cheesecake Company.
No.
Already goated. Love cheesecake. What flavour is it? How about drumstick squashies flavour?
Ooh. I love that.
That's in Sainsbury's. I can recognise that from the pricing.
Oh,
and the purple.
Yeah. Pink and yellow. It's just good colours, isn't it?
Maybe we'll have... should we have like an eating section on the SmackDown preview podcast? We can make it even worse.
Smukbang. Is that mukbang?
Good. Yeah.
Shout out Travis, by the way, for feeding the office with your Canadian snacks.
Oh, yes.
Those cheesies that were just pure salt sticks.
We opened it when you'd gone on Thursday, and I was like, we were all agreed that's Hamflett's.
There was some
thing.
Kraft dinner, which I've wanted to eat ever since I heard Terence and Philip talking about it.
The mac and
when
cheese.
You shake it, it's like using a shaker at school. I haven't made it yet, but I'm excited to.
We liked the, what are they called? Like the maple leaf biscuits, weren't they, Nicholas?
I think you've nailed it, to be honest. I think that's what they're called.
They're like custard creams, but...
the maple. But I thought it was like a bit of a coffee essence to it.
Yeah.
I really like them.
And I like the, whatever they were called, peach sweets.
Yeah, I like them too.
Good stuff.
I don't know if they've been opened yet. I will not be sampling. But Canadians swear by those ketchup-flavoured crisps.
Ooh.
But that ain't my domain. So...
Also, a shout out to Bad WWE Stats, who also over the weekend sent me Snooker Slam. You might be into this sort of thing. Pitching certain snooker matches.
Go back. So it's John Higgins versus Tomohiro Ishii in a balls count anywhere. That's good stuff.
Then there's Warframes.
Warframes. That's the Snooker Slam logo's WrestleMania 10. Yes, it's because it's an X. So it makes for 2 triangles.
So maybe that leads into this because you've got Haku, John Higgins, and now they've made friends because they're on the same Pocket Club instead of Bullet Club.
That's okay.
Juice Robinson. I recognise this man here.
Yeah, I can't remember who that is.
Who's that as well? He's Jay White. I know that.
Mark Selby. I think.
Who's apart from? Is there anyone like Rocket Ronnie?
Mark Selby gets called the Jester from Leicester, even though he's the most boring alive, just because the words rhyme. Like the whole point of his game is that he's like.
Do you like trick shots to make people entertained?
The literal opposite. Why take 1 minute to do a shot when you can do 5? You must have seen it because it goes viral every now and then. There's a video of Ronnie O'Sullivan getting a 147 in the time it takes Mark Selby to take 1 shot. They put a clock in the corner and it just goes around bang, 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 bang.
Do you know who that is?
I don't.
In a triangles, long rests and chalk match with John Cena.
Not bad. I like this raw graphic as well, like there.
And Tom Campbell of Cultaholic and Jeff Jarrett.
That's good stuff.
Versus the Hendry boys. That's Joe and Stephen Hendry.
I don't mind that.
Is Stephen Hendry still going?
You just have to say his name and he appears.
Okay.
I believe in Stephen Hendry. He's a pundit now. He's very, very well respected in the pundit game because, like, he wasn't really a people's champion, but he was the best.
He was a heartthrob? Do they have them in?
I don't know. Do you know who he had a sponsorship deal with?
No.
So footballers get a sponsorship with cool brands. Stephen Hendry had a sponsorship deal with the sweater shop. So he got free jumpers whenever he wanted.
Nicknames: Golden Ben, the Golden Boy, the Great One. I think that one's taken.
He wasn't the most electrifying man in snooker.
He was the Iceman,
yeah.
King of the Crucible, the Maestro, the Wonder, and often known as Mandy Henry's better half.
Good one. That's a shoot on his wife, isn't it? What's she done?
I just read Mandy Henry, and I know that made me laugh as a name.
Yeah. There was a few, he beat Steve Davis's record and he beat Jimmy White in a couple of finals. There was always he wasn't a heel himself, but he was sort of the heel by default because he beat other baby faces, you know. I liked him. There was an element to him that I kind of like, they were both Scottish as well, and quite dry, but like Alex Ferguson, the same. Sorry, not sorry, you're the best. And I could sort of get on board with that.
I've just seen a picture of Stephen Hendry and he's slowly turning into John Virgo.
Yes.
How has that happened?
Because the whole thing's going silver with the beard and the hair, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, not anything like JV. Would not have worked in the wacky waistcoat on Big Break.
Just literally the head.
Mm-hmm. Snooker has pioneered some technology that I'm confident...
Oh, they divorced him and Mandy. Sorry about that. I didn't realise.
All due respect to the Hendrys in this difficult time. Snooker has pioneered a bit of technology that I feel would be massive in lots of other sports, including wrestling. It was the first sport to, I don't know if you sell or buy, because I haven't been since they introduced this tech, the earpieces to listen to the commentary.
I love that.
And it's weird to me.
Cricket.
They do it at cricket as well. Like, it's weird to me that it's not been rolled out.
I agree.
Everywhere. And so at the cricket, because it happens on the snooker, which I really like, because obviously the deal is you watch quietly and respectfully, so not to put off the players, but it's meant that the commentators have to think carefully about the little one-liners, because every now and then it's like, oh God, I've just popped the crowd, I'm really sorry. And like, they'll say something without thinking, just having the crack, and then there'll be this like ripple of laughter in the venue, and then the players are like, oh, I'm taking a shot here. Sorry, John Virgo did a funny. Do you get that at the cricket? Would the crowd like come together to
crowd are pretty rowdy at the cricket.
I suppose, yeah, they're on the piss, aren't they?
Yeah. It's all day drinking session, it's class.
Bloody pint snakes. Yeah. It really straddles that line, like, between like football, normal, rugby, like really, cricket, like really walks that line, doesn't it? Yeah. Like it's definitely a bit of both. Yeah, definitely. Like I'd go and watch it at Chester Street in County Durham, not a million miles away from us. I wouldn't go to Lord's. Like I feel like that's sort of I wouldn't feel welcome and I wouldn't want to be welcome around them. No disrespect, no shade if you're into your cricket.
After he deals out a massive amount of disrespect.
I don't know,
shade.
Feel how I feel. Rugby union as well. Rugby league, fine. It's got a massive inferiority complex, and I can say that because I've got in-laws that live and die by it, and it's like, and they're all in a tiny part of the country. But it's real, it's proper. Rugby union. I don't make the rules, so there's something, yeah. I'm going watching Harlequins at the weekend. Stuff like that.
Then we were supposed to get Giulia versus B-Fab. It never happened.
No.
Kiana James got in her face, and then Giulia just got annoyed by that, apparently, and beat her up, chucked her around outside. James beat her up, and she got back in the ring, and Giulia hits her arrivederci knee, and they're going to keep beating her up until Michin made the save with a kendo stick to seemingly set up a tag match.
My 10-year-old son... So we watch SmackDown now. Me and my kids watch SmackDown on a Saturday morning with breakfast. And my 10-year-old son flagged up instantly. Oh, she, like, to Kiana James. Like, she lost to Michin in, like, 3 seconds, didn't she? I was like, yep. And then the match didn't even start, and the Michin comes out with the weapon. And he was just like, why is she back again? They're only going to fight and they'll beat them in 3 seconds. I was like, yep, you buried everyone. Congratulations, WWE. Like, this is really old school 50-50, nobody gets over.
Yeah.
Like, this is an entire mid-card. There's a belt. He bloody loves belts at the moment. I got him one for his birthday, but he also got his own Monzo card, so he'd bought a second by the afternoon.
Amazing.
Then he was asking me to look on eBay to find more. Then, like, Nicholas kindly found me one in the office that I'd forgot to even give him. So I was like, by the way, a fourth belt.
Wow.
And now he's like he's so into belts. He's like even like gone into the lower leagues. He's looking to see if he can get like the AW World title. Like, he just really likes the toy belts. And there's a champion on screen. Like, because he wants the, I don't know if there was a toy one kicking around, but he wants the women's world title. Because like, he at the moment, to be honest, from what he's seen on Raw, like, he's really excited for Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquet. But the white leather, like, looks cool, right? So I'm thinking, oh wow, like, women's US champion, no, just resents all 4 wrestlers for wasting his time. And I can't,
I'm the only one.
I can't like fault him.
No.
It's really bad booking.
Like,
Giulia's aura is non-existent.
Yeah.
Like, she does that thing where she takes the mask off now. Whatever, get on with it.
This is where we got the video recap of the WrestleMania 43 announcement, Saudi Arabia in 2027.
Yep.
Every cloud. We might be going to the Rumble that year, so.
Oh yeah, where's the Rumble? Where's the 2027 Rumble?
Please, Las Vegas. Come on, Las Vegas.
Scott Carlson of this parish, shout out Scott Carlson,
Hey.
the innovator of the Ups and Downs format and the writer of it to this very day, said that he was having a conversation with my best friend, Matt Rains, and the two of them were suggesting that we simply host a watch-along somewhere in America.
For WrestleMania.
And I don't think that's a terrible idea. And
What time would it be in America in WrestleMania now then? 10
Good
a.m.?
point. I don't know, yeah. I haven't thought about that. Because I know over
We'd
here,
have a nice
like,
mid-afternoon one.
tea time, wouldn't it? Yeah. And then, obviously, I was thinking about the conversation we'd had last week in the Dynamite coverage where I said, if they do it over there, Tony Khan should just run a big US event somewhere where all the Indies can go to for the weekend. I was like, well, maybe they'll do that. Who knows?
Well, if they're still in business in 2027. We get remarks from...
What a thing to say.
Former member of the AEW locker. I saw something about some business deal or something. I don't understand what companies own what.
Paramount and
They're the ones who own UFC.
I could have been trying to buy
WBD.
Yes, thank you. See, you do know all the stuff. People just say you're a clown aggregator, not me. Yeah, and if that was the case, there could be a conflict of interest that would basically just forcibly boot AEW off telly. Like, Tony Khan's network, I happened to see this because, again, my very observant son picked up the little AEW banner at Craven Cottage.
Oh, yes.
And which you could see
That
when the
spectacular OG.
Yeah. Oh, I felt so sorry. 4 bouts that knocked him on his ace. It's funny, though. It was funny. Funny on goal. And could really help us at the end of the season.
Yeah.
So sorry, Leeds.
Were you ecstatic with Salah's late penalty then as well?
I couldn't make my mind up on that one because Liverpool pissed me off, man. Arnie Slot won Manager of the Month, and
Outrageous.
I think that's BS. Like, they've not been good. Sorry, Matt Rains. They've not been good yet. And Brian, actually. They've not been good yet, really. Like, and maybe that's the point. You win in ugly or you win in all the different ways you have to win.
I think Sunderland merited it.
Oh, I would agree. And like Everton were, like David Moyes was nominated as well, and I can't really fault that. We're on identical points, goals scored, goals conceded, goal difference, whatever.
Disagree. Sorry, it just came out.
But like, it just, I don't know, like I watched that Arsenal game, trash. I didn't see the Burnley game, to be fair, and it does sound like they were bombarding them, but then, you know, you kind of want, I sort of want Burnley to hold on, but yeah, got to have that extra point on them, because we'll probably lose to Liverpool. Who was it they just outscored in that first game? Bournemouth, maybe? I don't know. I'm not seeing it from anyone at the top yet. I'm not. Like, someone's got to win it. Like, Man City just felt like they were bullying Man United yesterday.
It was horrible, wasn't it?
Just felt sorry for them, Man United. Like, none of them, I don't know about when it comes to football, but I know that none of them players want to play how they're being told to play, but they're being told to play that way.
Yeah, forever.
It's weird, man. Really weird. I learned about the offside rule yesterday.
I can't believe you didn't know this.
Didn't know this. Didn't know that. Didn't know that you couldn't be offside in your own half. Just never even give it any thought. I've seen Sunderland attempt to attack in their own half before, so it's never come up right there. And then Haaland's just like a million years front. I was like, well, that's going to be off. Still going. That's a goal. And I just I had no idea. And then I just had to Google it.
I also like the fact that Haaland clearly had a sensational game, 2 goals, heavily involved like defending as well, and still manages one of the worst misses I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. It was horrific.
Oh,
he's taking it past the goalkeeper. Just put it in the goal, dickhead.
That was crazy. Like, could have been like 6 or 7 yesterday, couldn't it? Could have been.
Or Donnarumma, great save, could have.
I did like that one Haaland did, where like to any of us it just looked like a tiny little dink, and then because it's him, he's like an absolute rocket.
He's a beast, isn't he?
No, he
doesn't feel fair sometimes when he's running against defenders.
No. So yeah, they were kind of ruthless, but they've been beaten a couple of times. You know, like they're gettable. Just the top Premier League teams thus far do nothing for me.
Well, Leicester won it. So Sunderland.
Spurs look. Yeah.
They beat City, but then they lost the other week. So who knows?
I don't know. Arsenal cruised past Forest, I guess. So maybe they are pretty decent. It was just one bad day against Liverpool. I don't know nothing, man. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Anyway, enough of the soccer tangent. Because now we have to go to remarks from Aleister Black about Damien Priest.
Oh, this again.
After I decided to dig my heel into your jaw when I tricked you into thinking I was a wounded animal, I knew... I'm just going to read it out because it's nonsense anyway. I knew I poisoned you enough with venom. It might not be tomorrow, it might not be next year, but the venom will run its course. Understand this, Priest. I am both sickness and cure. You can keep fighting this and live by your code. That code, of course, being, if you missed it the other week, I play by the rules just like you until I don't. And I will remain to be the sickness or not. Then you show the entire world how destructive, hateful, and talented I know you are. The consequence is yours, Priest. Keep fighting. You can die by that code. As I've said before, violence against violence, and I shall be its prophet.
Why is everybody sick? What's happening? Why does everybody want
time of year, innit? Weather's changing.
Yeah, it's getting the bugs and that.
Yeah, get your flu jab. Make sure you're drinking that immunity shot. I have a nice little shot of the ginger and turmeric in the morning.
Your recap was flawless. I don't want you to think that I was bored when I got my phone out.
I would not be surprised.
No, I got my phone out while you were doing the recap, but I don't want you to be offended because I wasn't captivated by it. I was far more captivated by it than I was watching Aleister Black on SmackDown. But the content was so weak and pithy, I couldn't help but feel like it had been done by AI. So while you were reading that out, I decided to ask AI to write me an Aleister Black promo about Adam Wilbourn.
Go on.
Let's see how this goes in comparison. I've not proofed this. Adam Wilbourn, I've listened to your laughter. I've heard your words, the jokes, the mockery, the constant need to fill the silence with your meaningless noise. You hide behind humour, behind the veil of a gesture, because the silence terrifies you. The silence forces you to face yourself, and you are not ready for that truth. You see, Adam, men like you survive on attention. You feed on it like a parasite. But I...
Like a parasite.
But I thrive in the dark. I wait until the corners where no one dares look. And when the time comes, when the gestures stop laughing and the spotlight fades, all that will remain is me, a reckoning, an absolution. easy for me to say. So laugh while you can, Adam, because when I finally stand across from you, the silence will consume you, and when the black mask connects, it won't just shut your mouth, it'll expose your soul. Fade to black.
It's kind of...
It is rubbish.
It kind of hit the nail on the head, though.
A bit hairy, that.
The robot. I mean, the robot hits you more than Aleister Black.
Jesus, what have I done?
Yeah.
But, it's hard not to imagine that Road Dogg shed GPT and came out and that was what we got. It's rubbish, man. It's rubbish.
It's good. I just saved time watching some nonsense. Someone will have written it down.
Yeah. You say you didn't have to take those notes. Another website transcribe.
Yeah. Then we got the WWE Women's Championship match. It was Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. This was loads of fun. Mm-hmm. Immediately, Cargill went for a pump kick. Stratton avoided that. She hits a high drop kick, but Cargill comes back with a power slam on Stratton. Nice bit where she gets Tiffany up for a suplex, and despite that, she's right up in the air. Tiffany hits a knee and then rolls up Jade. Cargill goes out the ring, and Stratton dives onto her to take us to a break. We come back with Jade hitting a fall-away slam on Tiffany. She goes for an attack in the corner, but Stratton counters and hits a spinebuster on Jade. She tries for a Hurricane Rana. Cargill gets her up for a powerbomb instead, but Stratton turns that into a Hurricane Rana and hits a double-footed drop kick. She goes up top, hits a swanton bomb for a 2 count, but Cargill recovers and hits a super kick on Stratton to send to the outside. Stratton tries a baseball slide, but gets caught by Cargill, who slams her against the apron. Jade tries another pump kick, misses, but also manages to avoid the prettiest moonsault ever. She hits a modified blue thunder bomb for a nice near fall. Stratton comes back with a roll through into an Alabama slam. Again, looks for the prettiest moonsault ever. Cargill avoids that. Hits the pump kick. They're both down. Crowd are loving this. They fight on the apron. Cargill goes for a spear. Stratton dodges, and Cargill nails the ring post instead. So Stratton tries for a diving moonsault to the outside, but Cargill moves. And when she gets back to her feet, Jade Cargill, boom, spears her through the barricade. And the match ends with a double count out before Nia Jax arrives to take both of them out. She chucks Jade into the steps and hits a Samoan drop on the floor. Gets Tiffany in the ring with a headbutt. And then hits an Annihilator to presumably set up a triple threat.
It is the good examples of the non-finish being used that remind you why it's so annoying when they abuse it. Because if this was still the WWE that was doing almost none of these, you could completely wave away this and forgive it. Like if there hadn't been a double count out or a disqualification or a schmoz finish all year, or there'd been like 1 or 2, you'd be like, you know what, this was the right time and place for it. The way they were going and how hard they'd been hitting and how knackered they looked and how knackered it felt watching them go for it, you would. And it wasn't like a wrestler has come in and just spoiled it like Brock Lesnar last week, so it was like a different kind of heat. You'll be like, you know what? They've beat each other so much that neither can answer the count, and now Nia Jax is picking up the scraps. That's the story they want you to tell. But as a viewer, you know, of which increasingly it's the majority rather than the minority at this point, who just goes, like, I really wanted you to give us a finish there. That has chipped away at the satisfaction rather than just sort of completing it ultimately. Because this was so good. This was
one of Jade Cargill's best matches, this.
Oh, by a mile. It was better than their SummerSlam match.
Yep.
Which wasn't like a stinker, but it still had those like Jade Cargill moments where you're like, this was like really unconventional. If you watch this back, there was no real sustained period of heat for either of them. There was just a constant exchange of it. So somebody would get the advantage, Cargill more through her strength and Stratton more through her athleticism and resilience, because she was the more babyface leaning of the two. But again, I felt like that went out the window a little bit. It wasn't like there was a lot of cheating. There was just a couple of times where Tiffany Stratton was a bit more, I've just gotten out of that one. Or Jade Cargill kind of just showing like just powering through something. Oh, Tiffany's got control again. Nope, Jade Cargill's just done. So just lobbed her across the ring or something and taken back over. There was a bit as well where it was the stuff on the apron where Jade, everyone hits a post in WWE all the time. You know, magnets in the shoulders. She hit that post.
She nailed it, didn't she?
She knew the importance of how much that needed to be an impact shot to take her down because of everything they'd done to each other to that point. Stratton, it's the best. Not the best, because she's had she kind of flies under the radar a bit with not having many bad matches, Tiffany Stratton. But I would say this was one of her more accomplished babyface performances in that I really bought her on the underdog comebacks. I really bought her as because she can't help be a little bit arrogant. It's baked into the character a little bit. But Christ, when she was, it was when she sort of went for the desperation prettiest moonsault ever. And she was just trying to shake off the cobwebs and be like, I'm a super athlete. I'll get her now. And then Jade, it was either she got the knees up or she rolled out the way and she was I can't do anything against this. I just really, really bought into the struggle. A massive over delivery. This was and
I'm excited for the triple threat because you got the dynamic of the baby faces teaming up against the heel, but then also Nia could be remember when we were mates, Tiff? Let's take out Jade and settle this between the two of us. You
know, you could see there being a shield powerbomb through the table, couldn't you, to finally take her out? And then it's right now we have to settle it once and for all or something. No, I was really impressed with this. This was, if you boiling it down, this wrestling show with 3 wrestling matches on. This women's match was in good company and threatened to be made to look rubbish by contrast to the other 2. Absolutely not. Jade Cargill continues to be a bit of an enigma.
Yeah.
What you do, because she does have incredibly off nights. And even in the tag setting, the whole thing that existed sort of protect her and preserve her. If anything, the botches were more pronounced there than in the singles matches. But then on some nights, it just goes so right. And I don't know. I never quite know what to do. Do you push it at the moon? Do you try and keep her unstoppable and undefeated? Do you keep going with a full stop. You know, once you normalise Jade Cargill, is there any value left? You kind of have to keep her special to an extent. But then I do understand the critics sometimes because sometimes she can't deliver. And nights like this make me think, how you go again.
Yeah, I agree.
I was really impressed with this.
Following this, Chelsea Green and Albert Fire are standing outside the SmackDown GM's office.
I can't remember his name, but what's the name of the third member of the Secret?
Piper Niven.
Thank you. This was weird.
Drop.
This was weird, because they were stood outside a wall, right? And, you know, like, I'm guessing, you know, when the walls of, like, the local sports stars, like, say, if you went to the United Centre, they'd probably just, like, Michael Jordan across the wall. Where was this again? This was in...
I cannot remember.
Wherever it was. They, like, must have had some local sports star called Nick Aldis, because his name was on... They were stood in his corridor, and his just name was, like, in big letters on the wall.
I don't know who he plays
Like,
for.
let us know if it was basketball. We don't know the American sports. Basketball or hockey or something, but yeah.
They were wanting a shot of the women's tag titles, and the SmackDown GM says, look, Charlotte Flair's injury is legitimate. And Chelsea says it's giving collusion. She's being protected. And if you don't do your job properly, you're going to find out why they call me the hot mess. But SmackDown GM confirms that Chelsea, or the Secret Hervice, can fight the winners of Charlotte Alexa versus the Culling at NXT Homecoming.
Oh my God.
It's later on this week.
Yeah.
And then that's dealt with. So the SmackDown GM goes to leave, but Miz shows up and finds out that Melo's already spoken to him about a title opportunity. Miz is very pleased. No need to ask any more questions. Following this, we get a very good video package. We talked about this on the Raw preview about Brock Lesnar and John Cena's beginnings in wrestling. That will be followed up. What was it called? Antithesis. And then a hype thing with that deadbeat Rey Mysterio and his amazing son, who's double champ now, of course, before he did it at Worlds Collide. Kathy Kelly's backstage with Sami Zayn. He puts over Rey Fénix. And then Melo shows up and says, look, I know we haven't always gotten along, but if you're dishing out open challenges, I've got next. And Sami tells Melo, don't miss, obviously. The Miz shows up and he's like, what's all this title stuff, huh? Melo's like, it's a US title. Miz is furious. What are you doing? You can do anything in WWE, but you need someone like me to guide you along that path. Melo's like, well, come on. What are we doing here? It's not the end of the world. We're still boys for now. We are still awesome. They're going to get a tag title match, aren't they? And Melo's going to say, twist, it's Trick Williams, who's my partner.
Possibly. I would like that.
The only thing that was missing here was Miz saying, what do you fancy doing on Tuesday night? And Melo going, busy.
Yeah, I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you on Wednesday.
I've got some DIY that needs doing.
Oh, that's really good stuff. Why didn't they do that? And Miz wouldn't have got it. Because he doesn't watch NXT, does he? No shot.
He's in a very small minority there if he doesn't watch the show.
Looking at the numbers, quite a lot to unpack there, wasn't there? The Secret Hervice stuff. That's terrible booking. They had a tag title shot not but 2 weeks ago and screwed it up for themselves by attacking Charlotte before the bell.
Oh, yeah.
And what have been the consequences of that? Charlotte gets injured, returns, and they just title shot lined right up. That's bad booking, is what that is.
I've genuinely forgotten about that.
That's what they're hoping for. So that was the thing. I am really buzzed that Charlotte and Alexa, Toxic Lily are at NXT Homecoming. I want Alexa in like the blue cheerleader, sparkle, Alexa Bliss era thing.
Yes.
Charlotte Flair can do the little entrance where she would do like the it wasn't even a cartwheel, was it? It was like some sort of gymnastic.
You're going to have what a day you're going to have when we preview that tomorrow.
Just, the thing is, the possibilities are endless, but the reality won't be. The reality will just be NXT. They'll not even do. I bet they don't even do the gold ropes. I bet you like the yellow ones. I bet it's just Shawn's NXT. Or worse, what if it's like Chrome X Triple H latter era NXT? I mean, thankfully, at least it won't feature all the wrestlers there on bloody AEW. But like Finn Balor is a special guest and he gets his jaw broken for all time's sake or something like that.
No.
Like, we don't need that. But yeah. That's going to be quite funny. The Miz and Melo stuff, I am still sort of fighting for
Me too.
them two, you know. There's a funny chemistry to it. Miz either dies at the hands of Trick and Mello and kind of gets the sympathy out of it, or there's actually a bit of a twist coming and they win the belts because everybody wins belts.
What if they win the belts and they do the bit that they did with, let me remember this, Hardcore Holly, Cody Rhodes, and Ted DiBiase Jr.?
Yeah.
If you just give me a second, my partner's going to be here.
Yeah, could do it.
Oh my God.
Or Miz.
Give him the belts and have him beat everybody.
Miz was the US tag title champion when he was in Show Miz, the big show. So Mello could follow in Miz's tracks. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I'm just glad they're doing stuff with Mello, to be honest.
I think he's found a role here, yeah.
Main event time, it was Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. They just twat each other to start, obviously. Big clothesline over the top from Randy Orton takes us to a break. When we come back, Orton's in trouble. They talk about him tweaking his knee at some point. So McIntyre, after eating a few knee drop to the face and what have you, and the bit where he goes around and stomps on every limb, basically. Yeah. McIntyre clips his knee, stretches out in the corner, bends it over the ropes, figure 4 leg lock. Orton turns that over onto Drew McIntyre, so he has to get the ropes. Orton hits a belly-to-back suplex effectively on one leg. McIntyre bails to the outside following this, gets slammed into the commentary table, but as he goes to do the bit where he drops him onto it, he gets raked in the eyes, and Drew does a back suplex on Randy instead, and again clips the knee, chop block to it as we go to our final break of the show. We come back. McIntyre picks up Orton like this move and slammed him down, but deliberately did it so close to the ropes that his knee just clips them as well. Orton, in an attempt to regain momentum, just pokes him in the eye. I quite like that that's kind of allowed as this weird baby face that Randy is.
Well, I thought this was quite nice because he was given one there and then he was stopped from having one later. It's almost like the referee's like, you've run out of lives, Randy. I can't keep letting you do this.
He smashes his head across all 4 turnbuckles, so he'd have won what are they called?
The Caribbean strap match.
Yeah.
And you got to touch him first.
McIntyre tries for another figure 4, but Orton kicked him into the ring post, sending him to the outside. As Drew gets back in, Orton tries to get a signature power slam or get the apron DDT, but McIntyre bails again to the outside, but this time Orton follows him out there and gets the back suplex, gets the table. The fans want another one and he obliges. But as they get back in the ring, Drew out of nowhere nails him with a Claymore kick. And as he's trying to follow up on that, Orton grabs an RKO out of nowhere. Really good stuff. Really fun finish to this. They go out of the ring, or Orton goes out after Drew and gets shoved against the apron. As Drew tries to get back inside, he gets hit with the apron DDT finally from Randy Orton. And Randy Orton just flips out. It's the Randy Orton of old, setting up for the punt, and the referee's like, you can't do that. In the confusion of all this, Drew, one final Claymore kick out of nowhere to get the 1-2-3. Post-match, Drew keeps the beating on Randy Orton, and as we predicted on the preview, sets him up against that commentary table, but instead of naked Cody Rhodes with the belt covering his bollocks, instead Cody just runs out to his music.
Completely nude, as we called.
Hits Drew with some offense, hits a Cody cutter, grabs the microphone, and he said that he'd face Drew McIntyre at
WrestlePalooza. He was into it, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It's the first time I've liked the name. Thanks, Cody. I hated it before that. I tell you what, this match, what an over-delivery from 2 wrestlers who often are quite boring. And just in every respect, this over-delivered. They being WWE, promoted this. The commentators said as much, but the whole promotion around it, you saw them, Drew McIntyre doing weights earlier on the night and Randy Orton prepping himself for it and stuff. The commentators were calling it as this has been a PLE main event and it could be one again.
It's appointment viewing, isn't it?
It's happening here tonight. And they're both, Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre are both guys that you can totally see how it's happened for them in WWE, because sometimes if they're doing something that's a little bit drab, they don't look as big and towering as they actually are. But when they're in something hot and exciting, they're massive. They're absolute monsters of men. And this was visibly, this sort of had a contemporary Hogan Warrior look to it. They're big guys, lobbing bombs, just throwing themselves into each other. I got way more out of that in a star-sized level than I did Sheamus and Rusev, for example. And the idea was they were kind of hitting each other just as hard because they hate each other. I loved Drew McIntyre's counter game for things like the apron DDT and all the Orton signatures, because it's like, you don't know what you've got with me. You can't. You've come back and you've been kind of having a good laugh since you came back, but you're not taking me seriously enough. And I thought all of those counters were an illustration of that. And then Orton's frustration built to the point when he finally hit them, the frustration boiled over to getting to the point of the punt. Because he's like...
Yelling at the referee took me back to like 2008, Randy Orton.
And I think all of that was a work. I think all of that was by design. It was like you mentioned the eye poke. There was a couple of times where Orton visibly experiencing a feeling of frustration, and the fun, chilled guy that likes people singing his song, and just the fact he's got smuggling balloons in those arms these days, it just disappeared for a second.
And he got a tiny bit of colour as well, didn't he?
He did, like off the post, isn't it? Like, no, nobody's ever done that to me before. Like the vapor, the apex predator came back for just a second. And then obviously it took, it's like Finn Balor and the Demon, it took something from him to even build up to go for the punt. And then when the referee goes, no, it's not even good, right?
Yeah.
And that's enough for the, like, stop dead. And then Drew just takes advantage.
It's a good.
He's younger, he's quicker, he's got a little bit more in him than Orton has these days. Bang, done.
They've got to do Randy, Cody. It's all there now. The amount of times Randy's taken a beating for Cody.
And that's it, right? Like, so he took...
It's completely justified.
It was tethered to the Cody match that they had in the King of the Ring final, because Drew targeting the knee is off the back of Cody being the one to go for it. Remember the sort of like, oh no, Cody will do what he needs to do to win. He's learned from Kevin Owens that he has to, like, if he spies an injured body part, he'll take that. And Orton is now the guy whose body will sometimes betray him. And it did against Cody, and it has against Drew.
He might turn at WrestlePalooza. I reckon he could be like celebrating with him post-match. Yeah, we showed that Scottish.
We got him, yeah. Put some damn pants on and defend your title against me. And yeah, Cody Rhodes, like, naked as the day he was born, but coming out and getting that reaction and just immediately making SmackDown feel huge again. Like, I don't know, it was just a sort of the way that the quarterback babyface, I use his terminology, the quarterback babyface World Heavyweight Champion should make you feel is that like all is right with the world. You know, when they win the day.
He came out in white as well, so you'd like that.
When he finally put some clothes on. Yeah. I did like that, the white vest. I watched my 10-year-old son have like one of those like moments where I was like, well, I guess this is growing up, because we got him a bunch of stuff for his birthday, but we didn't get him one of the things he asked for, because he asked for that white Cody Rhodes jacket. You know why we didn't get him that?
Hang on, I mean, is it really expensive?
92 quid, right? He did get some money for his birthday. Quite a bit. Kids are spoiled these days. And he spent some of it, but he's quite liking, he's got the little Monzo app on his tablet, and he likes looking at it and saying, oh, I've got some money. It's like, well, look. Like, it's like £106 he's got or something. You get the Cody jacket if you want, couldn't you? And then he does the quick maths. He's like, I don't know, maybe not. I was like, that's why we got you the hat, son. Enjoy your Cody Rhodes baseball cap. Sorry. Like, that was 25 bones, you know, the hat. He's worn it loads, to be fair. I can justify it.
25 quid, yeah. I mean, you can get great value on like a cameo or something from that.
Exactly.
From Daddy's Friend.
Or Daddy. I mean, I wouldn't charge my son for a cameo. just be clear on that. And I'm not calling anyone that wants to get a cameo. I'm not saying that I'm your daddy, but I'm available.
For 25 quid, I'll be anything.
Same, actually, yeah. We will do anything. Also, don't forget, stags, weddings, we'll come to them.
Oh, yeah, I've had my last stag of the year.
Open call. How was that? Let's talk about that for a bit. I know we don't do tangents and stuff on this podcast.
Incredible. Do you want to guess which song I did? We had an inbuilt karaoke. I showed you the pictures of the karaoke room.
Yeah.
And everyone was like quite good at singing.
Oh, no.
They were like musicians and stuff.
That's not the point.
So like, or they just did clever sort of sing-along songs. And I was like, oof. But then a mate of the Stags that I've known for years is also a big wrestling fan.
Okay.
And it was like, everyone's doing it. So it's going to come a point when what are you doing? So let's just both do it together.
My Way by Limp Bizkit.
There's a button for this. Bingo! Shout out to John Mahan.
Did that song on karaoke once and learned a lot.
It's longer than you think, isn't it?
It's longer than you think. Me and Sidgwick did it once. Nicholas was there. And we kind of realised something about a deeper meaning about that song. We looked into each other's eyes and it clicked at the same time. And I'll just leave it there. But I don't know. I'd never heard that song in quite the way as I did that night.
I think if I didn't on purpose, but if I'd filmed that, I could have had you two do anything I wanted for the next.
We just stopped
5
dead
years.
for a second, and it was like, oh yeah.
Why have I never heard it like this before?
Yeah. Then everything just moved on. Night went back to normal after that.
But let us know your thoughts on SmackDown in the comment section or an X at WhatCulture WWE.
Oh, God.
Actually, you can follow all three of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at...
Michael Hamflett.
You can follow our long-suffering producer, Adam Nicholas, at...
It's Adam Nicholas.
And you can follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. And make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcast from, for daily wrestling podcasts. Raw preview is available right now, but for now, this has been the SmackDown review, where we've talked about Brock Lesnar splitting his trousers. It's still funny. Meeting saving B-Fab, the US title open challenge, Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill for the title, and Cody Rhodes is back for WrestlePalooza.
The SmackDown review. It's got all this, and Cody don't wear clothes no more.
We'll see you soon.